Let's talk about traveling with a disability. Specifically, I travel as a person with quadriplegic, and I have a lot of medical equipment that comes with me. And traveling is extremely complicated. So my family and I were in Florida, and the way we got here was extremely complicated. So first of all, flying with Delta overall was a good experience, and I will get to that later. But first, I had to register all these batteries that I was bringing on the flight that I would be using. So I have a ventilator, so I had to register that battery, let them know I'd be using that. I have something called a suction machine, so I had to let them know that I might be using that. Then a suction machine basically sucks out the mucus from my lungs if I'm having trouble breathing. And I have a diaphragmatic pacer, which is attached to me in a fanny pack, which is tucked to the side right now, but that also had to be registered. So first of all, that all had to be done in advance. And I had to provide a letter from my doctor stating that I'm fit to travel. And we were also in touch with a disability agent at Delta that helped us through this whole process. And when we got to the airport, she was extremely helpful. So that was done all in advance. In addition, for me to get to Florida, we wanted my minivan and my power chair, the chair I'm in right now, to be here for me. And airlines are notorious for breaking people's power chairs, and we don't trust them. But this chair is very specialized, and if it broke, we really have no way to fix it in Florida. So what we did was we shipped down my van with my power chair in it. We also put a bunch of supplies that I wouldn't necessarily need a few days leading up to the trip. So a few days before, the company came, they took the van with my chair in it. I do have another chair, I don't like it as much, and I was using that chair for a few days. When I got to the airport, I was in my manual chair, which folds up nice and easy. It's hard to break. If it breaks, it would probably still work because none of it's electrical. It's just, I get pushed in it. So I went to the airport in my manual chair. So all of that was done in advance. Let's talk about the day of the trip. So we had to get to the airport at least 2.5 hours early, and we met with our wonderful disability agent, Daisy. And she came and got us at the entrance of the airport. And we got all our stuff together. We had so much luggage. A lot of it was my medical equipment. I had shipped down my clothes already before because I don't need my spring clothes with me at home. And so she helped us with all our stuff. And then she led us through check-in and then security. At security, they had to scan me because I couldn't go through the metal detector or any of the scanners. So they had to scan me, they had to feel around me, obviously. They had to check all the bottles of sterile water, saline that I needed to bring on the flight, which is also part of my medical needs. And they also had to check out the diaphragmatic pacer that I keep in my fanny pack, my shoes, they scanned everything. Once we did that, we got to the gate. We actually got to go to the Delta Sky Lounge.
In the Delta Sky Lounge.
It's really nice.
Really nice. Breakfast buffet over here.
Which was really nice. Got free breakfast, free coffee, free juice, everything. Hung out there because we were early enough. Then we got on the plane first. Getting on the plane was another interesting adventure because my usual aide that lifted me last year, Pansy, who's wonderful, she had the flu, she came late. So my dad ended up lifting me onto the plane.
Fantastic. Okay, great. All right. All right. Here's
On
one.
her lap.
I got her. Fantastic. Great. Excuse me. Okay, where am I putting her?
In the window.
Look at that.
All right.
Yay,
Good.
Scott.
Good. Okay. I'm sorry about that. All righty. Fantastic. Not a bad job, right?
Did a great job. And we told the employees, like, we got this, don't worry. So he lifted me up and I sat in the window seat. And they told me that the window seat was where I had to sit. I'm not really sure why. I feel like maybe I could flop into the aisle or something if I was in the aisle seat. And I didn't use the aisle chair to transfer because I would just flop out of it. I have no core strength, not enough strength in my neck to hold my head up if it fell forward, and it would be way too difficult to then get me out of it and then back into the airplane seat. So my dad just lifted me, did a good job, and we reclined the chair. I went on my ventilator to breathe easier, watched a movie, had my seared salmon. It was first class, and took a nap. And the flight went really smooth. Didn't have to deplane, which was my fear, that I'd have to like get off the plane after getting on. Everything went really well. I was the last one off. Got all our stuff, all our luggage. Another agent led us from the gate to baggage claim. We got our stuff, that baggage claim, and then eventually we ended up getting picked up at the airport by my grandparents with my van, which had my power chair in it. I was so excited to see my chair again because I love this chair. So we lifted me from my manual chair into my power chair so that the trip could begin, which was so nice to be back in my regular chair. So overall, I think Delta did a really good job of handling me traveling. It's just, I don't think it should be this way, that people in wheelchairs should have to like get out of their chair and get into a seat and then fold up their chair, put it under the plane or put it in like the overhead bin. They should be able to stay in their chair. I know certain airlines are working on this, and I wish things would like speed up and it would happen already. This would make things so much easier. We're lucky my grandparents are in Florida so that they can receive the van when it's shipped, come get us from the airport. But like, what if I want to go somewhere where I can't just ship my van and my power chair? I'm nervous to travel with this chair. What if it breaks? Then I'm flying to California, then what do I do? Like, that's very, very concerning. But overall, Delta was very helpful. They answered the phone when we call. They put all of our reservations together, me, my family friend Karen that flew with us. And the agents that we worked with were wonderful. And it was a very overall smooth process. And I just hope in the future air travel can get easier for people in wheelchairs, or people with medical equipment, or whatever. Let me think if there's anything else I need to say. That's it.